Well, today we are taking stuff off the boat, specifically stuff that doesn't work anymore and that I need to replace. So, let's get to it. So as I mentioned in my last video, I am in a much better financial place than I was a while ago. In preparation for getting a bunch of new hardware on the boat, I'm actually going to go ahead and rip everything out that doesn't currently work. That includes the front air conditioner, the aft air conditioner, the refrigerator, and the water heater. So we're going to be starting with the 16,000 BTU forward air conditioning unit that I installed shortly after buying the boat. Unfortunately, it died just after the warranty expired, and now it's just a $2,000 piece of junk. I've talked to a lot of people about it and asked around online. It seems like Dometic as a brand has kind of gone downhill quality-wise. It used to be rare for these things to die this quickly, but unfortunately that is no longer the case. As such, I'll be replacing it with a Marine Air 16,000 BTU unit. However, I don't have the money for that right now, and so we're just going to go ahead and take it out and get the area cleaned up and ready for the new one to go in. So this is the control box for the unit. It was mounted down and under on the bulkhead there before, but we now need to unwire it, and these things are really cool. They're made to be very easy. All you have to do is take off the one screw on front, and then it should open up, revealing the actual control circuitry. These are all connected with little eyelets, so all I have to do to unplug it is unscrew all of these, and I have turned off the power for the unit, so I don't have to worry about shocking myself. And that's really all there is to it. So the gray phone cable that you see coming off the control box, it actually goes to the actual control panel. So all you have to do is unplug that. And this thing is good to use for other brands as well. So we're going to hold onto that, and it just kind of sticks on there with a little bit of adhesion. And when we get the new unit, I'll plug that into that. Unless I can find one that comes with a new control panel, like a digital display one, that would be cool as well. But yeah, now the entire unit is unplugged and ready to come out. The entire assembly is bolted down with 3 little wood screws that go into these little brackets that it came with. So once I've removed the 3, it'll be ready to come out. What you didn't see me do while the camera was charging is actually unplug all the water hoses and cut the ducting off. But once everything is free, I'll walk you guys through how all that went together. The great thing about these units is that they come in a very standardized design, which means that the next unit I get should be approximately the exact same size and the exact same style, even though it's a completely different brand, which will allow me to just drop it in and hook up the ducting and the new water lines, and we'll be good to go. After 3 years of being in place, it's finally coming out. 3 years really wasn't enough time. Usually, I would have loved to have it for 5 or 10 years. Nope, there's a little bit of residual water in it. So I'm going to tilt it this way so I don't spill more. But yeah, there she is. So I probably failed to mention why we pulled this thing out. Back in September, I found out that the high pressure side, which are these coils here, were not holding pressure anymore. Basically, the unit would run, but it would actually get hotter on the boat. Fortunately, it died at a good time of year where I didn't really need it. I could swap to a space heater like that for the fall and winter, but I need to have a new one in before March or so. Otherwise, all my stuff is going to get hot and ruined, but we'll go back in with a new one as soon as I can afford it. So just looking around here now, this 7-inch duct was installed when I put in the new AC unit about 3 years ago. It is insulated, so that actually takes up a lot of the storage space that would normally be available down here. It's now just full of duct. But it does help to keep the boat way cooler in the summertime. Originally it had a 4-inch duct for a much smaller unit, but this is what we have to do with the larger 16,000 BTU units. And we'll clean up this area a lot more when I go back in with a new unit, but for now this area is good to go. Okay, next up is the refrigerating unit. I've already gone ahead and kind of deconstructed the cabinet area and started pulling pipes off. Both of the coolant lines are now disconnected. The electrical wires have been cut, and once I get the base plate unscrewed, I'll pull it out. And then we'll need to fish out the cooling lines all the way over to the cooling plate, and the cooling plates themselves will have to come out as well. So with the oven kind of tilted back, you can see the cooling lines go right here, as well as the control box for the refrigerating unit is right here. Inside here we have the thermostat that connects to that control box, as well as the cold plate. I'm going to have to take this down. There's 4 screws, and then we'll disconnect everything for the controller and see if we can fish out the cooling lines without breaking anything. So now with the cooling plates out, you can kind of see why it was so important to get them out. There's a lot of mold back there. So we're going to go ahead and close that up. And call that good. Alright, we'll come back to that later. The cooling coils, they came out through that hole and then go through that hole back there. In the meantime, I'm going to leave this control cable that was the wire coming from the control. It leads all the way back down here. So with that still in place, I'll be able to pull kind of a tag line through to get the new system in place whenever I buy that in the future. But for now, I'll just tuck it back there and let that swing. It's chaotic. Okay, that is all set. Now I gotta clean up this area and then we'll move on to the next item. So the water heater, as far as I can tell, it's not actually bolted down to anything. It feels like I can move it, except that it is connected to plumbing here. So if I disconnect the plumbing, I'm hoping that I'll be able to rip it up. Oh, actually, never mind. I found the bolt. It's hiding down there. There looks to be some screws right there, and there's probably some on the other side as well. But yeah, I'll have to rip it off now, and hopefully I'll be able to get it out of here. It does run on the AC circuitry though, so I want to try to get these lines connected and stowed away safe so that they are not just dangling wires. That was a pain in the butt, but it is out and on deck, so I'm going to carry it over to the trash can and dump it. I also found some other stuff that I need to throw away, but we're done for today. I'll come back tomorrow and finish up the rear AC because, yeah, that wiped me out. I don't have any more left in me, so we're done. So it's day 2 of the project, and the final bit here that we need to work on is getting the air conditioning unit removed from this little section of the berth. I've also taken the opportunity to spray some mold killer down on the rubber that we installed a while ago. I noticed it was getting a little bit mildewy, which is alright. It's better than what it was before. So we'll let that sit for a while, but in the meantime, I need to clear out all of the junk from in here. I think this is the power cable, so I'll need to detach it from here. I'll need to figure out how to get the ducting out. And the ducting, it goes up under the berth here and into the closet area. So by removing all this, hopefully I'll actually be clearing up a lot more closet space to help contain all of my clothing. And ideally I'll also be able to use this space for more storage once it is clear. I'm also considering potentially using the power cable as another outlet. The only outlet in this room right now, it's in a weird spot, but if I put another outlet right here, that would be probably very convenient. With that, we're done removing all the big parts from the boat. Next up, we'll have to go through, clean everything up, remove some of the wiring, some of the plumbing, get all the little details kind of squared away. And then, yeah, in a few weeks or a few months, I should have enough money to start replacing some of the bits that we took off. Well, as far as this project goes, I think I've reached a good stopping point. All the areas are now cleaned up a bit. What's next? I need to go through all of these areas over the next few weeks and clear out any of the remaining wiring or plumbing to make sure that when I get the new equipment, it is ready to drop in. So basically, stay tuned for a new episode coming out in the next few weeks or potentially months, depending on how long it takes for me to save up money to buy new stuff. I expect I'll be able to go sailing a lot more frequently in the coming weeks as well. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, I'm posting a lot more stuff there now, so feel free to check that out. Link is down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.